My name's Mackenzie.
And I'm Audrey, and we're ambassadors for Grow Next Gen, sponsored by the Ohio Soybean Council.
And today we're going to show you how to make seed paper. So let's get started. So first, you're going to need a sheet of paper, a full sheet, some water, which is going to end up being like a full cup.
Then we'll have a strainer with a bowl, or you don't need the bowl if you choose to have the strainer in your sink.
And then next you're going to need some cheesecloth. If you're like me and don't have cheesecloth just laying around your house, you can use a washcloth.
You'll also want food coloring and essential oils or other fragrance if you choose to scent or color your seed paper, as well as a blender or a mixer of your choice.
And then to make it fun, because it's seed paper, we're going to use a wildflower mix for our paper.
Then you will also need a baking sheet with 2 sheets of parchment paper and a rolling pin.
All right, let's get started. So first, we're going to start by tearing our paper into little shreds, like so. Once you have all your newspaper ripped up, we're going to go ahead and put it in our blender or mixture of your choice. So Audrey, do you want to tell us like the ideal amount of paper to have in your mixer?
Yeah, so you want to have it about half full or 3/4 of the way full. And then once you add your water, you want to make sure that it is almost to the top or about an inch above the paper that you have in there.
Great. So next we're going to add our food coloring and essential oils.
However strong you want your fragrance to be, you can add however many drops of the essential oils you choose.
Personally, we have a tangerine smelling flavor and a red colored food dye.
We will also be adding our wildflower mix at this point. And this, you want to add about a tablespoon's worth of seeds. From here, then you begin to blend.
Tell me, what should it look like before we get started when we're done blending?
It should look a lot like pulp. You want to make sure that it's really finely shredded and that there's not a lot of big chunks of paper left in it.
Awesome.
Here I'm checking just to make sure there's no real big pieces left. We'll blend it just a little bit more.
So this is what it should look like. And then we're going to take our cheesecloth, our strainer, and our bowl since we don't have a sink. And we're going to lay our cheesecloth, or if you have a washcloth, out in our strainer.
Just like this. From here, you'll pour the newspaper puree into the cheesecloth or washcloth and make sure that it doesn't go outside of the cheesecloth or washcloth. You want to try to keep it as contained as possible. You want it to look a little bit like that.
Okay, Audrey, tell us what we're going to do next.
So, Kenzie here is going to demonstrate how you want to get all the water out of the newspaper pulp. You want to make sure that all the pieces of the cheesecloth is pulled up so that way you don't lose any of the paper that you have in it. She'll squeeze it until all the water is out of it.
So fun fact, the newspaper ink that has been squeezed out of our mixture contains a soy ink that was used for the writing on the paper. So next we're going to take our mixed newspaper and seeds and dump it onto our parchment paper. Audrey, what do we do next?
So we'll want to make sure that we put a piece of other parchment paper on top, so that way our rolling pin that we have doesn't get stuck to it. From here, we're going to roll it out just like if you were to be rolling out cookies. You want to try to get it as flat as possible because the flatter you have your paper, the easier it is to dry.
So when you're doing this, after you get it rolled out into a thin layer, feel free to make it into any shape that you choose. If you have cookie cutters laying around your house, you can use those to make fun shapes.
Sometimes you have to rearrange it if there's holes to make sure that when you do have the final product completely rolled out, there isn't any holes in it. When you're done, you can take the rolling pin away and see where it's at with the parchment paper. As you can see, I made mine a little bit thick, so it might take more than 24 hours to dry. If so, ask your parents for supervision or for permission, and you can put it in the oven at a low temperature for around an hour until it is completely dry.
And now that we have our finished project, what you can do with it is you can plant it in a pot or in your yard and water it every couple of days until it sprouts, and then just water it as it needs.
And to be completely honest, the process takes a very long time. So just be patient with the process because the final product is very rewarding when you have a yard full of wildflowers.